Hi, my name is Theresa Townsend, and I've been asked to talk to you today about. Let's start over again. Hi, my name is Theresa Townsend, and I've been asked to talk to you today regarding sex and your disease. I know it's kind of an uncomfortable subject, but it's something that's important, and I think we all want answers, and we all want ways to address the neuropathy we're suffering from, the pain, the tiredness. Now, I'm quite certain you've listened to other speakers today talk about the neuropathy, why it occurs, some of the things you can do about it. There are diet, exercises, things that will help. In my opinion, the most important thing you can do is work with those limitations rather than allowing those limitations to define you. Find out what it is you can still do in that range and expand upon it. One of the things I wanted to talk to you today about is for the men. A lot of you are experiencing some form of erectile dysfunction, whether getting an erection or maintaining an erection. There are 1,000 pills and different things out on the market. I really don't recommend those. Anytime you're using chemical intervention as a first resort rather than a last, I think you're doing yourself and your body a disservice. Uh, for those of you who are having trouble getting an erection, I would recommend a pump. You can go to any adult store. You don't have to go to a medical supply store. A pump is a pump is a pump is a pump. Everything after that is all frills, bells, and whistles, okay? Whether you want a comfort cushion ring on it, a hand pump, a pistol grip. I mean, there's a lot of variations on pumps, but they are basically the same thing. The other thing that you might want to use in conjunction with a pump is a simple silicone stretch ring. What this does is it's like the rubber band around your finger theory, okay? Whatever is inside when you place the ring on will stay inside until you release the pressure, allowing ejaculation and the blood flow to backflow out. You see on the commercials, they talk about erections lasting longer than 4 hours. Let's be real. Your body was not designed to maintain an erection that lasted 4 hours. I don't believe your body is designed to maintain an erection to last over an hour. Quite frankly, you're dealing with a closed system. Your circulatory system is a closed system, and your heart is the pump. Anytime you deliberately block that pump, you make it work harder and cause strain. Another thing that can happen if you allow yourself to maintain an erection for too long is something called priapism. And I'm not going to go into it because I think you're all intelligent enough to be able to look that up on the internet, and it's not really relevant to what we're talking about here today. So now, gentlemen, you've used your pumps, you've got your ring, you're ready to go. Your partner, however, is tired, has a headache, etc. This is so common. Women suffer mentally and emotionally even without having diseases that affect them physically. What you want to do is you want to forget about your orgasm and hers. That's right. I said forget about the orgasm. Remove the pressure and the scorecard from your lovemaking. What I recommend is get yourself a good book on tantric sex, massage techniques. Learn all over again how to touch each other. Communicate through touch. Simply when you're holding hands, rubbing your thumb inside of her palm stimulates nerve endings. You're going to approach sex with a whole new attitude. It's not going to be with the idea of a few minutes of foreplay, penetration, and orgasm. You're going to start approaching sex as communication and as playing an instrument, if you will. Nobody starts out by picking up that school recorder and playing Mary Had a Little Lamb. You want to touch your partner. You want to learn what excites your partner. You want to start at your partner's feet and work your way up, or start at your partner's face and work your way down. Listen to what your body is telling you and what your partner's body is telling you. You can feel responses underneath your fingertips if you're listening. And this is something I would love to see everybody invest time in. It's not something with our diseases that can be spontaneous so much anymore. So set yourself up, say, a date night where you simply throw a blanket in the living room, an umbrella, and some beach music, and the two of you kiss each other. Just kiss each other. Don't worry about getting to second base or third base or an orgasm. Learn how to kiss all over again. Kissing in and of itself is sensual and meaningful. I'm going to take a break here. I've got some notes I'd like to refer to, and I'll be coming back in just a minute. Okay, I am back. Sorry about that. Something I'd like to discuss with you is lubricants. Women of a certain age, while everything still works, do experience vaginal dryness, and there are a plethora of lubricants out there on the market. I'm going to give you a quick history and some quick advice. First of all, everybody is familiar with KY. KY is a petroleum-based product. It sucks as a lubricant. It is not a lubricant at all. Don't use it. Stay away from petroleum-based products. Second, they came out with water-based products, which are much better. But much like water, as long as the water is flowing, everything is slick and slippery. Once you turn the water off, your friction as evaporation occurs comes back into play. When you add colors, sugars, flavorings, etc., you're adding a friction factor back in. There is something on the market that I highly recommend for anybody of any age. It's expensive, but it works. It's silicone. And it comes in a lot of different brand names. It doesn't matter from brand to brand. Just watch your price point. You only need a drop or two of silicone. It has no odor. It has no taste. It will remain slick and slippery until you wash it off. It is amazing. It facilitates with vaginal dryness. It really facilitates with anal exploration, trying to find the male prostate, or even just anal sex. Silicone is an amazing lubricant, and I highly recommend it. It is totally hypoallergenic. I have never seen anyone have any type of chemical reaction to it. I've seen women using it after internal vaginal surgeries and having no ill effects. So do remember silicone. It is expensive, but again, you only need a drop or two. We discussed pumps, we discussed rings. Something else I would like to talk about is self-exploration. Many of you women are of an age where you came up in a time where sex was dirty. The good girls didn't enjoy sex. Good girls didn't want to know about sex. It was a wifely duty that one performed. Well, I'm here to tell you, I don't believe my God made us to be creatures who performed wifely duties. He gave us a clitoris filled with nerve endings. I don't believe that that was an accident. Many women don't even understand how they're put together. When I talk to them about Benoit balls, using those as a weighted Kegel exercise, they're worried that they're going to get lost. Real quick, make a fist, insert your pinky to the first knuckle. You have just created the vagina and its cervix. Now, in looking in there, the microscopic opening to the cervix is not going to allow for anything to penetrate or go up it and get lost in your body. Anything you insert in your vagina is going to stay in your vagina until you or your partner remove it. I highly recommend, if you're going to use Benoit balls, that you use either glass or surgical steel. There are a lot of varieties out there, and a lot of them are composite materials, which can lead to vaginal irritation, heavy metal poisoning, just a lot of nasty stuff. This is your body. You do want to know what you're putting in, and you want to be responsible with what you're putting in your body. Just because they sell it somewhere doesn't make it healthy. Which brings us to pills that I know all you men have seen Bob, and you know about the little blue pill, and everybody thinks that's wonderful. I'm here to tell you, stay the hell away from them. Reason being, again, chemicals should be a last solution. There are generally 4 things which will cause male erectile dysfunction: high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, or a medication that is causing this problem. The first thing you want to do when you experience erectile dysfunction is to be cleared of any of these conditions by a doctor. Using pills or other things are only going to exacerbate an existing condition and may in fact worsen it, making it more difficult to deal with once you've addressed the underlying problem. Now, you've ruled it all out, and those of you who have diabetes or high blood pressure, you're taking your medications, you're still having these issues. That's where you want to use your pump and or a ring, depending on, are you unable to get an erection, then use a pump. If you're unable to maintain an erection, then you would use the ring. If it's both, use them in conjunction together. Simply slide the ring on once you've used the pump to get your erection. All right. That brings us up. We talked a little bit about self-exploration. We started there. Okay. Ladies, don't be afraid to see how you put together. I know a lot of people recommend using mirrors, whatever. I get kind of embarrassed at that thought with myself, and so I can totally understand that you might as well. We live in an age of information at our fingertips. Simply Google. Find out how you're built. Okay, we have something called the G-spot. Now, 95% of women have never experienced facilitation of the G-spot in conjunction with sex. It is a small knob inside near the cervix that is filled with nerve endings, and when properly stimulated will cause an intense orgasm. Men have a counterpart called the G-spot, or the prostate, excuse me, and it's located in the anus. And one of the things we all have learned is, oh, playing with the anus is bad, it's dirty, it's nasty. Those are mental inhibitions. The truth is, around the first set of sphincters that everybody is familiar with, we all know what the little brown eye, this brown star, whatever little name you want to call it, there are 10 million different nerve endings there. And when stimulated by touch, tongue, etc., it creates as much arousal as clitoral stimulation. And ladies, this is true for your partners as well. Men have these nerve endings near and around that sphincter. And just like when playing with the clitoris, when you stimulate, you feel the body relax, respond. You're going to feel this same sensation when stimulating the anus. I recommend that if you're going to attempt penetration, when it comes to anal play, there are 2 words I can't stress enough: cleanliness and patience. Cleanliness being first and foremost. You're dealing with your intestinal tract. You don't wish to introduce bacteria. This is why once you start anal play, you're done with vaginal play until you properly clean yourself. You don't wish to transfer bacteria. This is crucial. Patience is the other thing. You don't wish to intrude. It would be the same as having vaginal sex without foreplay. No fun for anybody, okay? Stimulate the nerve endings. Make sure you've clipped your fingernails. You don't want to tear up anybody's insides or cause a cut or a scratch. And be gentle. Take your time. Use patience. You'll feel when muscles relax. Don't be afraid to explore your partner, but don't be in such a hurry that you're not paying attention to your partner's reactions. You've got all day. There's no rush, and you're not in a race to an orgasm. We're exploring. We're seeing what the other one likes. We're talking about things and talking. I cannot stress enough how important it is for partners to talk to each other in and out of bed. Before introducing toys to the bedroom, there should be a discussion you have so that no one is in the position of being the perv or the prude. It's not a fun thing to put your thoughts or fantasies out and have somebody shut you down or call you names or have a bad reaction. I think simply that a discussion of sex toys, oh, well, that's always kind of interested me, or, that I'm kind of scared of that. I'm not real sure about that. Maybe we should go learn about it, study about it. And I've always said to my girlfriends, and I'm going to say it to you, if you're in bed with someone and you can't say that feels really good or a little harder, a little to the left, slow down, you shouldn't be in bed with that person. Telling your girlfriends what the issue was over coffee the next morning or your guy friends over beers is not going to correct the problem. And faking an orgasm is not going to correct the problem. What it does is it cheats you out of an orgasm and leaves your partner thinking that what they were doing was pleasurable and will create that sensation in you again. Don't be afraid to give into intensity of stimulation. Go with it, ride it. Don't be afraid to lose control. We're always very afraid of that, I think. And as we reach orgasm, a lot of us will mentally have some tape playing in our head that says this is wrong, this is not good, I'm not supposed to enjoy this. And we're back at line one again. We walked to the edge of the cliff and never made it over. Again, this is where taking your time, foreplay, stimulating toes, feet, palms, elbows. There's 1,000 erogenous zones on the human body. And by orchestrating them, you're like a maestro. You can cause your partner to have an orgasm without penetration, without oral stimulation of the genitals. It is possible, and I'm here to tell you that it's true. This is something to play with. Your body is a gift. Okay? So really, don't be afraid to talk about these things with your partners or your girlfriends or Google them and learn. God didn't make a mistake when he made these things feel good. At least I don't think so. Now, something else I didn't get into very much was role-playing, scene setting, etc. This can be really fun and really freeing in that you can totally be somebody else. You put on a wig and an outfit you wouldn't normally wear and a persona to go with it, and all of a sudden your inhibitions or things that you might not do become possible through this other persona or role playing. It's something I highly recommend. The two of you could sit around and make a suggestion jar, caveman and dinosaur, I don't know, whatever, milkman and housewife, pizza delivery guy. There are 1,052 million different roles, and you can write down ideas and pull them out of a jar on a night when you want to try something different. Something that a lot of people like to do is introduce toys into the bedroom. And there are a million different toys out there, everything designed to do something different. I highly recommend discussion. Don't start with the farm animals on steroids. Those are not fun. Start with something small. something that would be scintillating for the two of you. I recommend finger toys. I recommend vibrating cock rings because they provide something for both of you. Um, there's just so much out there to explore. And one of the things that I truly believe is that in dealing with neuropathies, in dealing with physical exhaustions, in dealing with mental roadblocks, if you will, that we need to start over from square one. Learn our own bodies, what we like, what our partner likes. As women, we have been taught manual and oral manipulation of the male genitalia. And there is so much more. Your man has as many erogenous zones on his body and that are responsive to stimulation as you do. And exploring that and bringing that out and empowering yourself is one of the most stimulating aspects of lovemaking for me. To bring my partner pleasure to where he groans or screams or is wild and out of control. That's empowering to me. That's a turn on to me. And so we all are different. Different smells, different sounds, different settings, all will excite different levels of sensuality in different people. And it's in learning how to play with each other and giving ourselves permission to play. And I've got to tell you, in dealing with neuropathy, in dealing with chronic pain, in dealing with medications that take away my personality, my energy, I have learned to start over again. I am 54 and I waited 26 years to have sex again. And it's on my terms. And I'm a woman grown. I can tell my partner what it is I want. I can play with my partner and learn what it is he likes. I can give massage and touch him and not worry if he has an orgasm or not, because to me, sex has become so much more than orgasms. It's become a form of communication, of comfort, of rejuvenating myself and working within the limitations that my body has imposed upon me. If you're tired at night, then learn to set aside time. One of the things I found is I got a hot tub to help with my chronic pain. And I have found that water play, because I am in a place that doesn't hurt. If you're fortunate enough to have access to a hot tub or a pool or even a big bathtub, I highly recommend that you go play in it. Go explore it. Find times when you're pain-free. Keep a journal. I did. It makes a big difference. So you schedule playtime, just like you did for your kids. There's nothing wrong with it. Give yourself the freedom to enjoy those things that you can enjoy. Now, does anyone have questions of me?